It is. You gon' die.
Welcome to Dre Knows MMA, guys. I'm your host, Andre, and I'm just going to go over UFC 245. I'm going to go through a lot of the early fights in a little bit more detail because, let's face it, the main fights, everybody kind of already has an idea of what's going to happen in their head, and it's hard to change, and there's not much analysis for some of them, but in other ones I'll spend more time. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
These early fights, Soriano versus Oscar. I will flip up here. You'll see their stats.
Oscar is coming off of a few UFC losses, but I do believe he'll be able to bounce back.
6-0, and Oscar is 11-2. However, Oscar did just come off 2 losses. However, one of those losses was against Gerald Meerschaert, who's a beast, and that was in the.
Soriano hasn't had any fights in the UFC, but he has an undefeated record, so we'll see.
Soriano's first UFC event, so I wonder if he's got any UFC jitters, but we shall find out. Moving on, we got Jessica Ai versus Vivian Araujo.
Jessica Ai has fought some really great competition, so I feel like she could pull this out, but it's going to be a great fight.
Vivian Araujo, I believe, is going to take it. A good up-and-comer, even though Jessica Ai is tough as nails.
Although Jessica Ai is coming off of that loss, and I think she'll fight hard, I think Vivian will take it.
We are going to talk about the next fight, Brandon Moreno versus Kai Kara France. I'm very excited about this fight. It's way down on the card, but that just goes to show you how deep this card is. Brandon Moreno is 15-5.
As I was saying, Brandon Moreno is 15-5. He's going against a very tough, dynamic Kai Kara France. Should be a fun one, folks. So we'll see what happens. And here are Kai Kara France's stats. He's got 3 wins in the UFC. He's definitely a formidable opponent, and should be a great one against Brandon Moreno. On to the next one, guys.
And the next fight is Daniel Tamor versus Chase Hooper. Daniel Tamor 7-3 versus Chase Hooper. For this fight, we got Daniel Tamor, who is just won against Sung Bing Jo, I forgot, and then he had lost 3 times in a row
prior to that. So let's look at Chase Hooper's stats, and what I like about him, he's very long, so I think he's going to win this. I just hope he's grown into his frame enough.
We're going to go, if I have to pick that, Jesus Christ, I'm going to just say Matt Brown because of his toughness, gets it done. Next fight, we get to the exciting fights. We got Ian Heinisch versus Omari Akhmedov. He's no walk in the park, and this should be fun. Ian Heinisch is 13-2. He is trained out of Factory X. He's 5'11", 185. His record is 13-2. Like I said, he's got 4 knockouts, 2 submissions, and 7 decisions. His last fight was a loss to Derek Brunson, but I expect him to be hungrier because of that. Before that, he was on a 5-fight win streak against some decent names, Cesar Ferreira and Antonio Carlos Jr., who he beat before that. So let's see, and he's only been submitted once. Omari the Wolverine Akhmedov is 19-4 with 7 knockouts, 5 submissions, and 7 decisions. He's lost twice by knockout and twice by submission. But his last 2 fights was a win over Zach Cummings and then a win over Tim Bosch. 2 very durable, tough guys. So that says a lot. And they were decision wins, which would be expected against those guys. Nobody really, it would have been really impressive if he put them out, but it's very difficult to put out Tim Bosch and or Zach Cummins. You really have to hit those guys perfectly. He had a draw against Marvin Vittori before that, and then he beat Abdul Razak Al Hassan, who had a height behind him by a decision. I do see he has a lot of decisions, but so does Ian Heinisch. So this is, I think, gonna be a battle of the wills and who's got the gas tank. I suspect Ian Heinisch to be able to get it done, but you never know with this one. It's a 50-50 toss-up. I could see Heinisch knocking him out, to be honest, or submitting him, or vice versa. So I can't even predict on that one. It's really that difficult for me. I wouldn't probably bet on it unless one of those guys was a huge underdog, which I doubt. I'm pretty sure if you go to the lines, they're pretty even. Let me actually go to that. Sorry, folks. Yeah, so the line on that is plus 120 for Omari, minus 140 for Heinisch. So Omari's a slight underdog, but it's basically a pick'em fight. So yeah, as I was saying, I give Ian the slight edge. And my computer's running a little slow here, so just apologizing there. Now we go to Ketlen Vieira. She's 10-0 versus Irene Aldana. She's 11-5. I don't know much about these ladies. I've heard of Vieira and Aldana before. I just really don't know a lot about them. So I'll give you the records. Vieira is 10-0 from Brazil. She's got 2 TKOs, 4 submissions, and 4 decisions. Her last win was over Kat Zingano. That's impressive. Sarah McMahon, extremely impressive by submission. She beat Kat Zingano most recently by decision. And then Sarah McMahon before that in September of 2017. She hasn't fought since March of 2018 with Kat Zingano. That's when that was. And then she beat Ashley Evans Smith by decision in 2017. So she's, I don't know all these ladies she's fought, but she got a decent amount of fights with decent people in the UFC. These last 3 fights, and even Kelly Fashos, she beat her in her debut. It was by split decision. It was a tough fight, I'm sure. She had a lot of nerves going. So I think she's adjusted. She's 10-0, but she's fighting a very tough girl, and Irene Aldana, if I can get this up. She's 11-5. She's got 5 KOs, 3 submissions, and she had a win over Vanessa Mello, and then a loss right before that to Raquel Pennington in 2019. She's definitely been more active recently. She fought in September this year, and had a decision win over Vanessa Mello, and of course she lost to Raquel Pennington back in July of this year, and then she beat Beth Carrera in May 11th of this year. She beat Lucy Pidilova in 2018, and she lost to Caitlin Chagagian in 2017 and Leslie Smith in 2016. But she's fought a lot of great fighters as I look through this. Even if she's lost, she has fought Tanya Evinger, Jessamine Duke, so some names. So I expect her. She's 5'9". Let's see, they're both 5'9", 135. I expect this to be a tough fight. And I think it's tough, The Aldana is the underdog. Vieira, with her 10-0 record, I guess, is I see a little bit of value in Aldana, to be honest, but I could see Kate Vieira putting her out because she's been on a tear. Next fight. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Mike Perry. Everybody says he's going to be broke by the time he leaves the UFC. Come on, guys. Be nice. Dude's fucking awesome. He's just a fucking character. You gotta love that. He's a real motherfucker. If I met him, he's the type of motherfucker be like, yeah, Let's go have a fucking smoke and talk shit and whatever. Like, I don't know. Who cares? He's got bad money management. Get him a fucking financial advisor. Don't get on him because he's fucking likes to flaunt his money. Anyways, I digress. He's fighting Jeff Neal. Mike Perry is 13-5. His record is really not indicative as how good he is because he's had some really tough losses against some really great guys. I guess you could say that about a lot of people, but I don't know. I like Mike Perry. I think he's got some potential. And same with Jeff Neal's got great potential. And this is another very difficult fight for Mike Perry. Don't get me wrong, big time. So Platinum Mike Perry is 13-5 with 11 knockouts and 2 decisions. He's only lost once by submission in 4 decisions. So, that's pretty. Although people could say his fight against Vicente Luque, even though his decision, his nose was fucked up, they could call that TKO in a way almost, because I would, just because of how bad he got fucked up. But that's neither here nor there. But he's going to be hungry. He's got this thing where he wins, he loses. Before that, he beat Alex Oliveira by decision. Then he lost to Donald Cerrone by submission. Just kind of showed that he's a little raw there, because Donald Cerrone's a vet, and kind of took advantage of Mike Perry. Paul Felder, he beat him by decision split in a tough fight, where I think Paul could have beat him if he would have been a little bit smarter. Max Griffin, he lost to my boy Max Griffin, Twitter friends, whatever you want to call it, with him. And 3-round decision, unanimous fight, and also lost to Santiago Ponzinibbio in a decision. So he's fought a lot of guys. He beat Jake Ellenberger, Alex Reyes, Danny Roberts, lost to Alan Jouban. So I'm not going to go through his whole career, but yeah. Anyways, he's a great guy. He's got good fights. He's great to promote, but can he fight? So the most important thing, Jeff Neal can fight. Jeff Neal, whatever, is fighting out of Fortis MMA. He's 5'11". They're fighting they're both welterweights, by the way. He's 12-2, 7 knockouts, 2 submissions, and 3 decisions. He's lost once by KO and once by submission. His last fight was against Nico Price, who's a beast, and he TKO'd him in the second round. Damn glad I had to come in and rescue him. So that was impressive. And then he beat Bilal Muhammad, who's a beast. I know this because I know people who train with him, and he's a monster. And he took him all the way to the decision and beat him unanimously. Also beat Frank Camacho by KO head kick before that in the second round. Brian Camosi by rear naked choke. And yeah, so he's been on a tear. This is going to be a great fight. It might be a fight of the night. Who knows? Or at least just crazy fight of the night. I want to say Mike Perry could win this by knockout. But I could also see Jeff Neal, winning, because he's a little bit, I feel, more well-rounded. And, yeah. I'm going to go with Neal. I think. I don't know what did the odds say. Yeah, Neal's the favorite. And I didn't know that. But, yeah, Perry's a plus 210 and Neal's minus 250. So almost 2-1. Alright, we gotta hurry before my phone runs out, because I'm running out of batteries, apparently. And we got Peter Yan versus Uriah Faber. What a treat. Peter Yan is 13-1. Uriah Faber is 35-10. One of the greatest guys that never had a belt, in the UFC at least. He's 35-10 with 10 knockouts, 17 submissions, 7 decisions, and 1 other, whatever that means. His last 2 fights, he beat Ricky Simon by TKO. That was impressive. And Brad Pickett by decision. and that was July of 2019. He beat Ricky Simone, who just had a fight recently that he lost to my boy. God damn it, I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. Rob Font, my guy, Rob Font. So he lost to Rob Font, and that was a great fight. Rob just fought smarter. That was very close. But anyways, here to talk about that, I think Peter Yan, no mercy. He's 5'7". Uriah is 5'6". Uriah's just seen it all, but 13-1. He's been on tear. He beat Jimmy Rivera, John Dodson, Douglas Silva, Andrade, Jinsu Huzon. I'm sorry, I have a computer difficulty there. Teruto Ishihara. And let's see. That's about all the other names that matter. If I can. So yeah, my prediction is Peter Yan by stoppage in the second round. I'm going to say he wins by I don't know, it could go to decision actually. I could see him winning by decision as well, but if it gets stopped, it could be a TKO or something like that. Marlon Moraes, oh my god, I'm so excited versus Jose Aldo. I'm going with Marlon on this. And I don't know, I love Jose Aldo, but Marlon is 22-6, and Jose Aldo is 28-5. I'm not even gonna go over those guys' records because we all know they fought beasts. And I mean, I guess I can a little bit very quickly. We're out of time. Jose Aldo, last fight was against Alexander Volkanovski, who of course is fighting for the title. Against Max Holloway, and he lost by decision. Before that, he beat Renato Carneiro and Jeremy Stevens by TKO. So he was looking to his own form, except for the 2 losses to Holloway. Before that, Holloway's got his number, and Connor. I feel like he has trouble against taller guys. No, Marlon is not taller. He's 5'6". However, he's just really durable, and I think he's coming into his own. He lost against Henry Cejudo most recently by TKO in the 3rd round, but before that he beat Rafael Assunção, Jimmy Rivera, Aljamain Sterling, John Dodson. So he had lost to Rafael Assunção before that decision. He avenged that by submission in 2019 because he lost in 2017. And yeah, so I'm gonna go with Marlon Moraes just because I feel like he's got a better chin at this point, and just more confidence. Amanda Nunes versus Germaine de Randamie. I've been going back and forth, and I don't know why, because something about Germaine de Randamie worries me because how good and technical she is, but I'm gonna go with Amanda. She's 18-4. Germaine is 9-3. Yes, she's got a humongous record. Outside of MMA, and is a very talented striker, rightfully so. Possibly, the most talented striker in terms of like kickboxing in women's martial arts. However, it's about putting it all together, and I feel like Amanda does that better, and she'll figure out a way to win, and that'll be the end of that. Now, Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski. I'm not going to get into this too much. Alexander is a beast. He's 20-1. Max Holloway is 21-4, and he really's only lost against, when he went up in weight class or did some things, like fight Dustin Poirier. Besides that, he's been on I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Listen to this. He beat Will Chope, Andre Fili, Clay Collard, Akiri Corsani, Cole Miller, Cub Swanson. That's when it began, really. Charles Oliveira, Jeremy Stevens, Ricardo Lamos, Anthony Pettis. At this point, he already had a belt. Jose Aldo, Brian Ortega. Then he lost to Dustin Poirier when he went up. And then Frank Edgar, he just beat. So, yeah. Volkanovski, although extremely impressive, he just beat Jose Aldo. He beat Chad Mendes, I believe. Yeah, before that, yes. And then Darren Elkins, Jeremy Kennedy, Shane Young. Just the caliber isn't quite there for him. And he's got 11 knockouts, though. That's the thing. That's a lot. But, Max has got 10. And about the same number of fights. Max got 25 fights, 21 wins, 4 losses. He's got Alexander 20 wins, 1 loss by knockout. So they can knock each other out, and I think Max is going to touch him because he's taller. And he's going to show him what that reach. And Max has kind of grown into his frame where he's almost a lightweight now. And he's used to fighting lightweights, although Alexander used to be a 200-pounder, from what I'm told. It's different when you're short like that. So I'm going with Max. Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington, 15-1, both 15-1. I say Kamaru Usman has the better hands than Colby Covington, who I think has atrocious hands. I'm going to keep this sweet and short. Kamaru for the win. Probably a boring fight. Where goes the decision. Kamaru does enough on the feet to beat Colby up, but you never know. I would love to see Kamaru take his back and pound the shit out of him. So I'm signing off. This has been Dre's predictions for UFC 245, Usman versus Covington. I hope you stuck through. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Any comments, anything, questions, please leave them below. Thank you.